Okay. Oh, hid my timer. Yeah, I was forgetting. I haven't had to use my timer with my night. My dog's gonna lose in a little bit because they're gonna start shooting off fireworks, but I already hear them popping off. But yeah, I was debating about making maybe playing game tonight, but I think what I'm probably just gonna do is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays will probably be gaming nights, and then the rest of the days will be studying. Mostly because like sometimes on the night stream I don't want to go like I try to go like 3 hours, but usually my brain kind of taps out around like 2.5 hours, so I just kind of call it there. But yeah, if you listen to MIT course, uh, I'll probably be a bit more receptive. Uh, just because of the fact that I'll be revisiting like a lecture I already listened to, so predominantly just going to be reminding my brain what I learned. So probably get through that, and then we'll probably go back to working on the to-do list. There goes the fireworks. Like 3 hours early. It's kind of weird to not have to actively take notes. To be honest, I expected myself to like remember less of the class stuff, but I guess having saved it and looking at it, I kind of like things are making sense. Pretty sure I actually tried to make a class right now. Probably too, but I'd probably like slowly like remember. It's just this is like the last thing I learned before I took like a week because of the Christmas. All we did last week was just play games. I was booted. Kind of surprised my dog's not like Me. Oh man, I don't really need to take notes for this. I already took notes for it. Me takes more notes for it because brain picked up on something that I should write down to remember. I can tell that it's been like a week since I like actually wrote something with notes because like my penmanship is atrocious. It's like looking somewhat okay because I'd been like writing so much, and then now it's like horrendous, like even worse than what it was before. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting at break times. Good on your. I wasn't really expecting us to take notes because like I was expecting to revisit my notes, which I did. I started like reading over them again, but then there was something she stated, which I think she might have stated when I was like taking notes the first time. But after realizing it, I was like, oh, I should probably write that down in notes because it was actually a pretty solid point. I can't like my dog has gotten too old to care, or like maybe the type of fireworks aren't really tripping him up, but they were shooting off fireworks. But he's just over there like no whining, no nothing. I took him out a little early, like well, actually, like a decent amount earlier than I normally do, but that was because someone shot off like a couple of fireworks. It wasn't a whole lot, like around 7:30. I was like, you have to. And like when we first moved here, people loved shooting off fireworks. I cannot even begin to explain how often they shot off fireworks here. When we first moved there, the first year we moved there in here, somebody was shooting off fireworks. They shot off fireworks for 4th of July, for New Year's, Christmas, and then for there was one more. There was another holiday that you were just like, there's no way. And slowly they've been doing less and less as the years go by. So I don't know if maybe it was like a group that used to live here and then, you know, they move off, time goes on. 4th of July here, they still go crazy. But it wasn't as bad as when we first moved in here. When we first moved here, the week leading up to the 4th of July, they were shooting off fireworks every day, like in the evening. I was like, you're kidding me. That's ridiculous. And then even though they shoot off a bunch of fireworks, it's still not as bad as like the first 2 years we were here. Like the first 2 years we were here, if you go out like at 2 in the morning, 2 to 3 in the morning after they finish shooting off fireworks, 'cause they would start really early. I wouldn't be able to take my dog out. He just wouldn't do anything until like 2 to 3 in the morning, which is when they would stop shooting. It was like such a thick smoke of gunpowder in the air. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, brother, I don't trust that many unlicensed people shooting off explosives near my house. I don't know. I've always been kind of weird. I've always thought that fireworks should really be done used by people that know what they're doing. But as long as nobody gets hurt and nobody burns anything down in my immediate vicinity, I am okay. It's just, I'm the type of person that if we don't need to risk it, we shouldn't be risking it when it comes to stuff. Because fireworks are dangerous. Fireworks are not safe at all. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna do one of two things. I'm either going to work on the meal list, the dinner list program, or which is probably more likely, I'm gonna go and either not the MOOC but the other MIT website and see what OOP class like exercises they have, and if they seem doable for me in my like brain dead state, then we'll do it. It's just that there's like another roughly 30 minutes in the lecture, so that'll be around like 10:30 is kind of when my brain starts. Well, actually, my brain starts like fully turning off around like 11:30. But I want to try. Like, I plan on going to midnight tonight, obviously, because New Year's, woo. But yeah, a little chill New Year's compared to what I usually do for streaming. It's just that it kind of landed on. I took all of last week off except for Friday. Well, even then, Friday was just during the day. But we didn't do any coding last week, and I kind of didn't want to just not do coding for the first half of the week on this again. So I I was like, you know what? I'll just be pretty chill and just study for New Year's. Usually I'm like drinking for New Year's, but not this year. This year we're gonna be a little bit peaceful. To be fair, I wasn't partaking. Well, I mean, usually I'd be playing some PvP. I think I think both of the last 2 years that I've done New Year's stuff. Uh, oh no, one I did a collab with a friend, and then I think the other year. Well, even then, I think like the one time I did like a 12-hour stream into it. No, no, I think that one was a yeah. I know I did a collab with a friend on that one, and then we went until we had like a 2 hour time difference. So then it was like New Year's in my time, and then we went until like New Year's their time. That was a decent little stream, but we were still playing games of just pew pew. And then I think last year I played like Apex or something into the New Year's. So it's pretty chill compared to what I usually do. Not too bad, honestly. I can't really complain. Sometimes it's just be peaceful, then out. It also feels kind of weird because I like did my Grand Blue farming earlier in the day, so I don't really have anything to do to kill like the 10 minutes like I normally do. I mean, I guess I could farm the event, try to finish getting the pages. Oh yeah, I should have waited. I should have waited to at least do Leviathan because now that's like 3 Leviathan. Oh, shooting off more fireworks. They've kind of been pretty sporadic this year, though. Usually there's like a decent amount of fireworks going off by now. Ugh. I guess. Oh, I forgot that I was gonna look up for like a timer for like a countdown timer. Oh well, I mean, like my breaks are usually like 10 minutes before the hour, so and I'm gonna end stream on New Year's, so it'll be fine. All right, break time over. Back to work, and by back to work, I still can't believe I forgot that you can use the plus sign to concatenate a string earlier. When I was doing the the spruce, 'cause I was like, why is it doing an extra space? I was like, oh right, because of the comma. I'm like, but how the hell am I supposed to do this without the comma? And then I forgot about the concatenating. Mostly because usually I just do F strings that I've done on my side projects because I haven't had. It's just been more efficient. I did do a float. I don't remember if I'd added the float to this or not. Yeah, one thing to remember is like the self part always kind of throws me for a loop when I start looking at like classes and stuff. It makes sense now, but remember when I was first learning classes, I was like, what the hell is self supposed to be? But then I think it was this lecture that made it kind of click. I think I found really weird. It was like, I guess it's because they were talking about like making the string for it, but she's like, here's how you do the string. Here's how you make it better because you know if you take a fraction that's 5/1, you don't want it to spit out 5/1. You want it to spit out 5 because that's what it makes sense mathematically. And then immediately after teaching us that goes, now pretend that we didn't do that. And it's like, then why don't you just do it till later? Why don't you do it like the end? Like I don't know, it's just so weird. Hi, Vicky. Your day's going well. Thank you for the lurks. Oh, but I still need it to reduce. Ah, it needs to. Hmm. Does it not have a greatest common? This one's not returning. No, it should. Hmm. It's ready. No, because it's e dot reduce. Yeah. So this is written correctly. I mean, obviously it's writing correctly because it's pulling it, but why is it not? Like, it should be reducing 2/8 to 1/4, but it's not. So, greatest com or greatest com Yeah, so it skips over this and it skips over this. Because if the denominator equals 0, which it doesn't, returns none. If the denominator equals 1, returns fraction of self number over 1. Even though I guess you could have also done like phenom. Greatest common divisor. Greatest common divisor. Self dot num. Self dot denom. Which is then supposed to pull numerator of 2, denominator of 1, I go in here, print, or not prints. Then it's supposed to divide, goes here. Like this is supposed to equal, wait no, this is like a, or no, like, so the denominator is 8. Isn't that? Why doesn't it work the other way? Yeah, it only works for 5 over 1. It doesn't work for anything else. What did she have was right? I'm gonna finish listening to the lecture before I start trying to. That's the problem. It doesn't. Like it works if it's like the if like the denominator, like the numerator is bigger than the denominator, but it doesn't do anything the other way around. Like I don't understand. What's the point? It's kind of bothering me that like I've copied this code from the lecture and they say it's supposed to work a certain way, but upon actually testing it, it doesn't. Unless I'm just missing something. That doesn't work that way either. But it works on. I don't understand. Like I understand what it's trying to do, but I don't understand why it's not working. Oh, I think I might have missed. Oh, actually, is it what I think it is? Actually, did I miswrite something? That's what it is. I miswrote this. I don't know if I like had it written properly and then I like changed it. Brought that back the way it was. Okay, that was the me thing. I don't know if it was just like a brain derp or okay. It was for whatever reason I had self like I forgot the dot denom. Like I think it might have been when I was like moving things around. Because sometimes when I'm like trying to like click around, sometimes like I don't know, I'll hold down the left click too long and then I like let it go and then try to like click somewhere else and then I'm like drag whatever and then I'll just delete it instead of hitting Control Z. I was just like, why isn't this not work? And it's like, oh, that was throwing my brain for such a loop. I was like, what do you mean it's wrong? Okay, so it does work, which then means And this be this again. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that was a bit of. I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's not working. It's like, well, Mello, it'll work if you write it properly. Ever think about that, buddy? About that? That maybe if you wrote it the right way? That's it. The lecture. Let me go look at where did I put the other taskbar? I need you to not be doing whatever. My taskbar keeps popping out like how about you sit in your corner and peace. Is here we go. I'm gonna see if my brain can handle this. If it cannot handle it, we go back to just working on my subjects. And then do that for the next like hour and some change. And then carry on from there. A book object. Methods to customize book object. Test cases. Here, don't test anything beyond this. Test the correctness of your code. Object on your methods on final custom. Oh, I guess this is just at the video corner. Oh, there goes the fireworks. Um, oh, break time. Judge, I was cooking. The brain was cooking. Right, break time. 10-minute break. Yeah, that threw me for such a loop whenever I was like, oh, the reduce thing, I should try it. Like I want to try it because I changed the plus to the under method for add, so that way instead of having to call a plus method, you could just do F1 plus F2 and then it'll just add it together. But then I realized that that wouldn't reduce. Um, so, and then that led me to realize that I had like something was messed up in the reduce section. So then I started like digging around and then I realized that I had forgotten the well, I had written it wrong. Like I don't know if I wrote it wrong. I don't know if I wrote it right the first time and then I accidentally like grabbed the dot denominator and then accidentally moved it off to the side and stuff like that. Like, you know, all these different things. But all I knew is that it was not working as advertised. So therefore was a problem. And luckily we figured it out. We figured it out. By AKA reading. Actually sitting down and reading the words. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do one where compares like amount of pages between books, compares if the authors are the same, and compares if and then tells you which book comes first in alphabetical order. Oh, I was about to start typing, but I'm on break. Melo, you're on break. Take a break. Goodness gracious. Grand Blue Fantasy, where you saved me from thinking. Save me from thinking. Shut my brain. Doing the awesome. Punching them to try to get some of the extra resources. I need to get actually, I don't know if the wind opus might have it already. I do need to finish uncapping the wind opus to 5 stars. But I just farmed the stuff to that for water, so I'm not too much to do it again. I do need to finish getting the draconic weapons though. But I think I'll probably leave that for when I get for the next Tales of Eternals, because that gave a lot of golden scales, the gold dragon scales, which was really nice because I really don't I don't like farming Lindworm. Like Lindworm should be giving a minimum of like 2 to 3 scales, if not more, at this point. It's so annoying to do them just to get like one scale like 10 times in a row when you need so many of them per. I need to make an odd attack team. Biatama and water. Like set up crit. Well, I guess like I can do that when I get 2 axes. I've seen there's some like auto attack first setups with 2 Leviathan axes and the Wanda spears. I don't care about doing that. Yeah, I'm just gonna get. Oh, I should just get the Earth Sky Piercer because I'm definitely not gonna get the fire version because I plan on uncapping Frau's weapon. Oh no, there is a reason. More times. I don't need it for the mission count, but just getting those 5 of those is pretty nice. The little weird shloop sloops. I need to do Bubs and Belial though to get horns and wings to transcend. At least do the first transcend step for the Dark Opus one to get that first upgrade, like 10 upgrade. That for yeah, if I do that before water, probably be better for the best. A lot though. What do I need? Oh my goodness, I need 60 of the Tears of Apocalypse. 60. Oh my. Guess we'll be working on that. Oh, treasure. Still gonna take a decent little bit to get the. Up. Actually, I think I did make one. You know, better. All right, now he's flush that. Oh, break time's done. Back onto the work end. How would I do that? I wanted to. That would be. I guess I could just have it return a string, right? I was already thinking of like the last line. And therefore, if it's not greater than, if self dot pages is not greater than or less than other dot pages, it should just keep it consistent since we're just comparing. So Oh, I should do the less than. He's scooting. Yeah, let's do the less. Eh. No, because like you'll still be. Well, we could. It's just that we'd have to like cut it out. Because that would be like a boolean, right? It's like true false. I don't want it to do that. Oops. Got to tab back over. Anyway, I'm mistaken. You're not supposed to like capitalize things like of and the and stuff like that in titles. But I do know it's also like a stylistic choice if you want to or not. It works. And then now if we change this value, it works. What else did I say I wanted it to do? Oh, I wanted it to check if the authors were the same. Uh, and to check which book came in like alphabetical order. Oh, oh. Like, wait, why does that have an error? have that turned off. Because you could want him to be there to be doing stuff. I want to like oh that's what I should do. I should make it all a chunk. I didn't give him his break. Having to go on the internet. Oh, right. I should do that for me. All right. So we have the page count. So it compares how many pages, which book has more pages, and tells that to the user. And we have the author check, where it'll check if book one and book two have the same author or not. Then honestly, it has its display info, but this one would probably just be. I think this is how you would check that. So I'm saying alphabetically, as they go up, they have a higher value. Do less than, because this one has. Uh, what else? What else could we do? Um, hmm. There's like some other easy ones, right? Like just author, page number, title. What else? Oh, there's some easy methods to add into this. We could do something where you add book one plus book two, it would tell you, you know, book one and book like title self dot title and OTH dot title have a combined page count of like 200, something like that. It would be another pretty interesting little one to have. Yeah, we'll flesh it all out as if I'm actually going to turn this into a grid. Oh, there you go again. On the fireworks. To be fair, they've been shooting less, but they've been like bigger. Got like 40 minutes till the New Year's, at least for me. Still got a couple time zones after me. Fine. Um, what else did we say? Oh, right, we were gonna do a plus one where if people go book one plus book two, it'll tell them like the combined total of pages they would have to read. I don't know if it's like I remember. I don't think it was like that in the code that they had. Yeah, I don't know. I like having the empty line in between the functions, so because like for my brain, it'll tell like this is one function, this is the next function. It's not. I don't know. To me, it just looks nicer than if I just took the space away. Like right, if I didn't have that empty line in between. I don't know if that's like something you're supposed to do out and about, but what I'm doing. I just feel like it makes it easier to like quickly figure out what's separate from each other, right? Because especially due to the fact that so for instance over here, right, we did function inside of a function or like technically function inside of a method. Uh like if it's all one big thing, your brain might go, all right, find this, define this, define this, define this, define, this is a method, 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 and then it might the likelihood of it is like it kind of depends, but like if you're tired or you've been looking at a bunch of code all day and then you just go method, method, like your brain kind of just skips over that this is like something else. I don't know, for the way my brain works, having this little gap in between is like really good. A book. It must also be a book. No, he's just chilling. I don't know, he's finally getting used to the fireworks, or he's just too old to care. Let me do. This is a little cleaner. SLB of 200. We tested this. We tested this. Tested this. Right. Same amount of pages. Less pages because I messed with the numbers. Um, they have different authors. Alphabetically comes after, and then now we tested the total pages. Yeah, I kind of like. I like this class thing, and I understand it. It's just I haven't like looking at my side projects. I'm like, I don't know how to incorporate it into my side project. To be fair, I don't think I need to like actively incorporate it too much because aside from the self part of it, the rest of it is just functions, really. And like, so the fact that I'm continuously like making functions, I feel is going to pay dividends whenever I do have to make a class because I'm like used to it. Especially because like realistically speaking, the only difference between this list of functions here, right, and like this class is just it doesn't say class at the beginning. So like realistically, like just this into this and then the dunder methods like is really the only real difference. And I feel like that's not gonna be something that's like too hard to pick back up and put into it. Because like for instance, this is I'm not following anything here. The problem, all the problem gave me was the books, book one, book two, and then this into the initialization into just self, into like display info, which I just changed to be the print statement. So like if we print book one, right? Ugh, right, I forget that's not coding. It'll just tell me, right? I just changed it to that. I feel like that was better. And then it's just like author. I think I still need to give it the parentheses. No, I don't even need to give it the parentheses. Right? It's because it'll just call it, because that just makes sense. I feel like to me this makes sense, right? You're like, what is book one? And then it tells you, well, book one is this title by this author and it has this many pages. But then if you know like the title of it, but you don't remember the author, you're just like, wait, who's the author of this? Author. Who's the, how many pages was there again? You just go, the page count on this. Like, you just run it. Right? Like, stuff like that, I feel like it's just natural. Yeah, I don't know. I really like classes. I guess I guess it's kind of obvious that I'd be partial towards classes because I do like functions. Like it's kind of weird to me to like have to hear that people need to be reminded to make functions because as soon as I write the same type of code twice, I'm instantly like I'm gonna just turn that into. Even then, when it's my side projects, I'm like, there's too much shit getting written out here in one go. I'm just gonna turn a bunch of this into like functions and just call it just to make it look nicer. It's kind of the way my brain is. But then again, like my brain is the type that it kind of thinks about things like, hey, I don't really want to like go through the trouble myself. So I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other people that don't want to go through the trouble of having to deal with this. So let me just clean this up nicely. Like when I was working in data entry and uh my boss had me like the head of our department, so like my boss had asked me to do like an Excel spreadsheet with like a bunch of data on it, uh, based on like information we had, and and the first one was like relatively small. I would say a bunch, but that was like in the later stages. The first one was relatively small. She knew that I knew my way around computers pretty well, and I had made mentions. I was like, yeah, I'm like I know how to use Excel to a pretty decent degree, and nothing super duper crazy, but I can make pretty decent spreadsheets and stuff. I mean, I used to just passively for my own stuff make spreadsheets, right? For like whenever I had like a bunch of games that were coming out, and then I wanted to buy, and I had to like spread out a budget and like figure things out and stuff like that. So it's just I I just got used to it, and then I basically made them pretty clean, easy to read. You could figure as long as you told me like what kind of information you want, like readily available and stuff, I could do it. Uh, so she gave me like one small one, and then from then on, she was just like, "Yeah, I need this." And they were for like important meetings too. They weren't for like down meetings. They were for meetings for our like boss. because it was really funny. I had my boss, and then I knew my boss's boss, and then I knew my boss's boss's boss. It was a pretty funny little chain of command thing to know. Because like they would sometimes come in. It'd be like obviously my boss was always like in the office because it was a really small office, and then like I'd say probably about once a week I'd see my boss's boss like walk in. He'd like come in, check around, check out what's going on, and then just say hi and all that stuff. Go back on his way. And then about once a month, my boss's boss would like walk in, and I'd be so it was also part of the reason why my coworkers were really surprised when they found out that I cuss. Cause like I just never cussed because I was in the front, like I was at the front desk, like working, and I was like, the last thing I need is, and like the door was at an angle where you couldn't see who was coming because it was facing away from the hallway entrance. So I had no way of knowing, right, if like someone who should not be hearing me say, cussing people, like cussing stuff out, would be coming around. So I was always very like business professional, right? Everything. Even when I want to pick up a chair and throw it at somebody. Professional all the way up and down. And then I think it was like one of the like on my last month or something. They had like the doors closed for lunch break because usually their lunch break started like towards the end of my shift. There was one time I forgot what we were complaining about. I'm like, yeah, that shit sucks, man. Like fucking blows. And they all just like turned to look at me because they've all like cussed and stuff before. They look at me and they're like, "You cuss?" I was like, "Oh, like a sailor. I just don't do it on payroll. I'm trying not to lose my job." And they're just like, fair, fair. I was like, yeah, I don't need, Yeah, I just explained. I was like, look, I don't want to be, if I was trying to come taking this like, part of this program, and I'm trying to come to the office for help, and I just hear some guy cussing his head off before I even get into the door, I'm not gonna want to go into that office. If and even then before that, like if one of the higher ups comes in and they hear that, like who knows, I'm probably gonna get axed. Like, I'm trying to keep this income, trying to get paid. It was really funny though. It cracked me up. The look on their faces was priceless. Yeah, I would say, look, if this doesn't give us like full marks, I don't know what to want from me. All right. We got the initialization they gave us. We changed this to a string, which I thought was more efficient. We added easy methods. We added still easy methods, but a bit more fleshed out. I can't really think of um oh, we can do a minimum page count, right? Where like, how they're just like, you have to like, I don't know, I've had book reports that I had to write that the book had to be a minimum amount of pages in that like subject. That's something I had to do in high school. We can do that. We can do that. That one, I feel like that one's pretty interesting because that one's going to take like an integer. Greater than or equal to. And this one would be page diff again. Just to keep the dialogue kind of the same. And then we'll do pages. Two. Has 2 list pages and then required. 80. Has 20 more pages and then required. Oh! Done. Oh man. It's supposed to be. Oh, interesting. So originally it wasn't supposed to drop to like the 30s until Thursday, and then now it's supposed to drop below freezing tomorrow, and then we have a chance for uh some snow on Sunday, and well, like snowy showers on Sunday, and then potential chance for snow on Monday. And then Tuesday is supposed to start going back to being cold again. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I liked this. This just lets you, oh, RB, Happy New Year. Almost there for me too. 20 minutes. Do anything special besides cleaning for the new year? Head pat pancake. Pancake has been head patted. He thanks you. I'll give him an extra one since you're the first one to redeem it. I also finished surfing the internet. I always forget that one gets covered. That one also gets covered. That one gets covered by Pancake because he's an attention hawk. You're boring. Oh, we're chilling, enjoying the moment. Nod, nod. Getting stuff ready for the new job. All right, I remember reading that another job had uh made it on the list of don't work out again. When do you start the new one? Then you have your life together or something. Mode. I'd get that printed on a shirt, honestly. 17th orientation on the 10th. Please have at least a decent little bit. Is there much you have to do to get ready for it, or is it just kind of making sure everything's like in order and nothing pops up? 3 days a week remote, 2 days in office. All nice. Sounds comfy. Sounds pretty comfy. 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah, I feel like it's not too terrible, especially if you're spending most of the week like at home. You can get a at least be pretty comfortable with it. But take a decent little bit of the edge off the hours. 8 p.m. Oh, it's still a pretty decent hour spread. But yeah, seems like it can be pretty comfy. Hopefully, no, the curse doesn't follow you. Hit the hot springs in the morning and not rush back. Oh, you already got it planned out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. Like, I think every time I've ever like asked you about your job, it's just the curse of the manager always pops up. I don't know. You need to stop shaking them bad manager milkshakes. All right, maybe it's time you put the milkshakes down, RB, and you start making smoothies. Smoothies bring the good managers in, right? Get that blender going. Milkshakes are out. Milkshakes are so 2024. They bring in the bad. I don't really have enough time to start the next problem. Try to think of what else I can add to this. Asked during the interview, and this place is okay with you making proposals. Oh, that's always good. We like open proposal workplaces. Hopefully, it's a place where they're like, yeah, we'll take proposals, and they'll actually like talk about it and stuff. It'll be pretty nice. Yeah, that's probably like one of the nice things about the place I used to work at. Which, to be fair, they had a remote position. I probably wouldn't have ever quit that job, but I was really tired of living in that area. But it was like we would have, I think, well, the first couple months I worked, we didn't really do it much, but we eventually started having like meetings like in the morning, which, well, unfortunately at the time the like it was only part-time, so it cut down on one of my days to do my work when I had like weekly deadlines, but it was fine. I was good enough to deal with it. But it would just be like if I raised something or if anybody really brought up a good point, it would kind of be like talked about, debated on, and then usually like if it was agreed upon, it would be like implemented. It was also how I learned that sometimes even if I have a good idea, I keep it to myself because I don't want to do more. Uh, I started getting really good at like dropping ideas to other people so they would bring it up in the meeting, and then I wouldn't get nailed with it. And then if they tried to be like, "Oh no, he came up with that," I'd be like, "I don't remember this conversation at all. I don't know what you're talking about. You're really good for coming up with that. I'm so impressed. I got sneaky as hell." Because we were basically understaffed in the office I was at, so it was kind of a case of like if you showed you could do something, you just got more work piled on. So, you know, Once I hit a point where I was like, all right, I need to start kind of dialing it back a bit. I just like toss off ideas to other people. Credit the managers likes the idea. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it was pretty rare. Like some because like a lot of times it would be, at least in that case, like I wouldn't come up with the idea like unless I was like in the meeting, right? Because like it was a meeting with my boss, like with the head of our department. So it was just like and it wasn't like implementations that would go up the chain any further. So it was just like in office stuff that I usually like did my 2 cents. But usually I'd like lead people towards like, you steer someone towards like an idea and then you make it feel like they thought of it. So that way you're sitting there like, yes, yes. Now you get to spend 3 weeks writing up the paperwork. Yes, yes. You're the best. And we worked for the government. So like raises and stuff weren't dependent on how good you were doing. So I didn't care. My boss tried to get our whole office like a raise like 4 times in just the year I worked there. And we just kept getting like denied. It was so dumb. I think we got like a 10-cent raise once, and that was because the campus as a whole did it. And with the way the stuff had panned out, that affected our paychecks too. Even though technically we were getting paid by the state government, so it was like, hey, suck. Got my dime, and I'm winning. Mostly in the licensee area, making offers happening by planning what he needs to do, X by Y and such. We get to be OCD and organized at least. Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I remember you used to complain a lot about how like disorganized some stuff would end up being, and how they would kind of just pan over things, and it would drive you up a wall, and you wanted to like burn a place to the ground, and then I would be like, "Don't burn a place to the ground, RB. Jail's not worth it. Do it after you quit and wear a mask." Yeah, hopefully it goes well. You could definitely use a break of bad bad workplaces. I think it's time. I think it's time for you. Your job gotcha luck should be lined up. Hopefully, to at least have a decent little break from shitty workplaces. Oh, the girl who replaced you is horrible. Oh yeah, that one's always kind of fun. Sometimes I feel bad for whoever takes my positions for things I do, because whether I was a teacher assistant and like back in like high school, or even just like jobs I've done, I usually like raise the standard of expectation, and not on purpose, just because that's just how I work. And then I'm like, every time I'm like, I leave the position, I feel bad because I'm like, yeah, good luck finding someone who works like that. When I was a TA my senior year of high school, I was TA for the first semester, and I raised the bar so high for that because I was the TA for the band hall because I was a band student. That was like a bit of a no brainer, and it was actually a decent amount of work. I was like doing stuff all the time. I wasn't just sitting there doing nothing. I was organizing instruments and everything. Like one of the other band kids took over in the second semester, and apparently all they heard all semester was like, if Mello is here, all this would be done and next week. And I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, sorry, not sorry. It's not my fault. Piss excellence. Step your game up. Skill issue. That was pretty fun. Jen spent years doing it for. Yeah, the bar was way lower before. Like, she just doesn't remember. I feel what does this mean? Skip manager. True. You're like, look, you want me to teach you? I need you to go to HR and tell them to promote me to manager, and then maybe we can talk. Man, that's not my job. That's not my job. Oh, I loved doing that at my old job too. I was like what did they call me? I think they like behind my back. They apparently like the instructors were calling me like the pit bull of the office or something like that. Because we had like procedures for if you wanted like copies and papers and stuff like that, right? Which is relatively normal, especially because we had to like save paper in certain situations because of like cutbacks and stuff. And like before I was in the office, like the teachers would just come in and do whatever the hell they wanted because our desk lady was a little too nice. And so then as soon as I was in the office, they'd come in and they tried to talk to her and I'd be like, "Did you fill out the paperwork?" They're like, "No, I need it tomorrow." I was like, "Well, you better fill out the form quick and you better hope that somebody's free to get it done by the end of the day." Like I was so like on the cuff on it. I had instructors that refused to come to the office during my work hours because I would just tear them apart while being like polite. So you couldn't even like file a complaint. I had one instructor file a complaint because I was very business tearing him apart in his email. Like basically, you could read between the lines. You could tell I was cussing him out, but like it was all in like business talk, and like they complained and they forwarded the email. My boss is like, "I literally cannot do anything. There's nothing in this email that like you have nothing to complain about except the fact that you're not doing your own work." I was just like, "Suck it." You think just because I'm like half your age, I don't know how to write an email? Suck it. Get out of my house. That other job should be called true. We had this one girl who I honestly, well, to be fair, there was like two people that I don't even know. Like honestly, part of the reason they were even still working there was due less to because they were good and more just because of nostalgia or whatever. Like we had this like one chick who was like, how old was I? I was like in my mid 20s, I think, and she was like, I want to say 6 years younger than me. Not too far out of high school. Literally didn't do shit. Literally would sit at her computer and just be on her phone, and I'd be like, "Don't you have classes?" Like she'd be sitting across from me, and I'd be like, "Do you not have classes that you need to get done? Like, do you not have paperwork?" As I'm looking at her desk that's just covered in papers, I was like, "Don't you have stuff to do?" And like my boss would come in and talk about how like there's classes missing, and I'd be like, "Look, she literally just sits there on her phone all day. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, you guys need to figure something out." Like 6 minutes till the end of the year. You do if people can fit you in the schedule after months of planning. I was like, first of all, shouldn't happen if it does. Like rearrange the schedule and prioritize. Yeah, true. Yeah, it was so annoying. Cause I was just like, look, you just cannot be doing this. Like, and we would give her the groups that just had like the least amount of individuals. Like, you could literally get the whole week's worth done in like 2 hours. She still would just not have her stuff because we had weekly deadlines. Our where we put the information and got locked at the beginning. I think on every like Tuesday in the morning, and to like change the information was a bit of a pain in the ass because we had to do requests up the chain into state government stuff. So basically, we would be like, let's not, like, let's just not have to deal with that. At least this place is more likely the talents than the management causing issue. Ew. I guess that wouldn't be too bad depending on how much they give them leeway. Yeah. Because like where I was at, it was like the teachers. Because I worked at like a GDSL program. The teachers were usually the main issue. Wouldn't turn shit in on time. Wouldn't turn it in correctly. Stuff like that. Had like actual problems. I'd work with it. If you didn't, I'd tear you apart. If it was one of the people signed up for the courses, I was usually there was less. There was a couple of them that tried to be kind of funny with it, but for the most part, they were all good people. Honestly, got sick. I'm less angry than you just willingly not doing it. True. True. I also feel like sometimes in those cases, like that, like people just don't realize that also just communicating like works. But that's also usually because I feel like some people don't realize it, and then other people don't care to realize it, right? We're just like, if we talk about this and figure out what's going on, like maybe something's not working for you, and we can figure it out. Like a lot of times that solves a lot of problems, but some people are either too lazy or they just don't know how to go about the issue. And a lot of times that's the two lazy people are just because they're lazy. The other people is sometimes because maybe they've tried and then whoever they've had to deal with before didn't really wasn't really up to par and stuff. That happened with I've had that a couple times with some of the people I had to take care of. I had to, some of the groups I had to look over. I definitely like changed some adaptations and stuff, and I had to add notes for whenever we rotated groups. It'd be like, hey, by the way, this is how this works. This is the system it works. Don't change it. Just do it. And it's just like I just because it's just how it is. Because there's some people like they'll try to pan it like that, and then you listen to them, and you're like, you literally just don't do anything at all, right? Do you? You just don't want to do anything at all. It still cracks me up to think that I scared people out of the office. Oh, I think my boss once had told me that they were just like, you know, have you tried being nice to like think about being nicer to the teachers? You're scaring someone out of the office. And I just looked at her, I was like, ma'am, with all due respect, nowhere in the job description did it say I had to be nice to the instructors. Everywhere in the job description said I had to make sure they were doing their job. And she was like, fair enough. went to went to her office. My boss was great. I hate it. Like the work for the job I had to do, like boring, kind of sucked. Wasn't really big on it, but the work people weren't too bad. Honestly, they weren't too bad. They had like except for like that one like young chick, but the rest of them were they're alright. They were like actual working adults that I could like work with. Hindsight issue, I can be like, I don't want to work with X company again. It can be someone else in charge next time, or like it just don't work for them. Oh, that's really nice. Issue. Oh my god, that's the best, right? Like when you've been kind of like letting something slide and then they piss you off, and then all of a sudden you just start hitting them with every single guideline and form and paper they've signed. Like, oh, that's so great. Oh, I love doing that. That was my favorite thing to do too. That was my favorite thing to do to this one lady who wasn't like she was an instructor but not an instructor, and she thought like she could just walk in and do whatever she wanted because she had like technically like I guess the equivalent to like a department head or whatever. But unfortunately, she had to learn the hard way that when you're in the office, you work under the rules, and I can throw the book at you in 20 different directions because I know you didn't read them, and all you can do is sit there fuming because I'm right and you're wrong, and there's nothing you can do about it. One time, she tried to skirt around it because she was really friendly with like my boss, well, with our boss, and then she like went over to the office and tried to like pan it off as me being lazy, and my boss comes out and she was like, so I've been informed. Like, to be fair, it's really easy to tell because you literally have to go past my, like, you cannot go to my boss's room, like office without me seeing it from where I was sitting. So I knew exactly who it was. It was literally the only teacher back there. It was like, I was informed that you said you wouldn't like do copies because that was part of my purview was if you filled out the forms, I would do the copies. First of all, it was a terrible day to come and try to like skip over things because I had like if I looked down to read a paper, you couldn't see my head because of how high the folders were on my desk because I had to like I was doing something for my boss on top of all the other work I had to do for data that she wanted an Excel spreadsheet for an important meeting at the end of the week. So I had like all the ammunition in the world to throw back at the lady. And I was like, well, first of all, ma'am, she didn't even fill out the paperwork. She literally just showed up today. I checked the list 3 times and then demanded that I print her off. Oh, also, Happy New Year's. It's actually midnight for me here. Happy New Year's. I'll be ending stream a little bit. I'm tired. But I was like, didn't fill out the paperwork. Came in, demanded that I stop what I'm doing to print her off 50 copies. And I am trying to finish. I pat like one tall like pile of folders. All of this information by the end of today, because you said you need it tomorrow for the meeting, into an Excel spreadsheet. And I still have, and I patted the other big pile of folders, all of these to input into the website that I need to get done in 3 hours. I do not have time for someone who has not followed the very things they signed an agreement on because we had all of them sign forms that said they agree to follow the stipulations and rules and stuff. which is common. Just because they have a whim and they need 50 papers now, because I don't know if she'll pop in again later if she needs another 50, and then I have to stop and do that too. And my boss was just like, noted. And just went back to the office, and I just watched the lady go back to her office, just fuming. Oh, the urge to not just flip middle fingers at her while she was walking away. Oh, it was all over my face, though. It was definitely all over my face. I definitely had that don't fuck with me smile. Oh, God. I love when you throw the book at somebody and they don't know. They don't understand. They don't know. I grew up in a Hispanic household, and look, that kind of stuff is like breakfast in my household growing up. I've been trained my whole life for doing stuff like that. Uh, okay, my head hurts though. They're shooting off fireworks. So I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Gonna go probably definitely not sleep. I need to do my gotcha grinding. I'm such a yes, it was I keep trying to like I lurk in a decent amount of your streams, but usually like by the like you're doing something when I'm doing something, and then I'll come back and then you're done, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, RB left. I didn't even say hello. I didn't even do my little free RB emote. But yeah, no, I got you. No, it's always fun. It's always fun to chat. I'll say hello to somebody because it's go into this. We can go say hi to Naki. This thing. He's playing Valorant. I don't know why she makes poor decisions, but we'll go say hi. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody has a good New Year's. If you're partying, don't party too hard. Remember to stay hydrated. If you're not partying, hope you have chill. I'll see y'all tomorrow for more studying. I don't know. I guess if y'all have resolutions, I hope they go well. I'm not much of a resolution person. I'm more of a look back and make sure I do better than last year kind of person. Well, yeah. Have a great day. If you have a good day. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay safe. Bye.